Hello, I'm Lesley Logan. Welcome to my Pilates studio here in Los Angeles. I'm back with another collaboration with Andrea, Maida Pilates, and this one is A Struggle is Real SemiCircle. So, feeling like the struggle is real is really hitting home for me. I actually enjoy SemiCircle. I just love to forget that it exists. You can do it in two ways, with the foot bar down or the foot bar up. And I'm going to show you both positions today. And then I'm going to talk about how you can actually make this less of a struggle, either within the exercise or some things you can do when you're not doing it. So you want to have two heavy springs on the outside, one on each side, so you have room for your butt. I see a lot of people do this with middle springs on. Gosh, it's got to be uncomfortable. Your headrest is up. And so in a perfectly safe world, you would put your feet on with the balls of your feet on the foot bar already, heels together, toes apart. And then you would keep them there as you slid out, okay? So that would be what you do. Try not to move around out here because you can't see where your feet are. Now, if you're super tight, your knees are going to splay pretty wide. So you want to narrow them off so they're only as wide as your hips, and you want your heels to be up, and you want to keep your heels up and the carriage still as much as you can to melt your heart, your waist, and your hips. So this is the hard part. I have to keep my heels up while my butt's down. The struggle is real there, guys. You push out. Some people use a stopper. I don't. I stop right about there because it's really hard for me to keep my ribs connected. And then I roll my hips up with the carriage still. Then the carriage can move. And then you can go in the other direction where you move the carriage with your hips up. You pull your heart down. You pull your waist through. You come in. You keep your heels up. And my knees are already cheating. Narrow your knees. Lift your hips up and forward. Now, the other version, so that version is really hard for me. I just have a really long spine. So to make room, I tend to really cheat with my knees. When I put the foot bar up, I get a little more space for my spine. So again, get the balls of your feet on there and then slide out to straight arms. Bring your heels together. Okay, try to keep the carriage still here in your neck long as you roll your waist down and get your hips through. Keep your arms reaching into the shoulder blocks. This way, as you come up, your arms are connected to your back when the spring is pushing on them. And then you come in, and then you can reverse it. Keep the hips up, then roll the heart down with the springs being still. Roll your hips through, close the spring, and then roll your hips up and forward. Now, you can also do a lovely little stretch there. So that exercise is a struggle for me for so many reasons. And for so many people, for so many reasons. It's really hard to stand on your feet here. So you really want to practice standing on your feet. So anything like foot corrector, standing mat work, the press downs on the one-to chair, the standing side leg springs, anything where you actually have to stand on your own 2 feet, it's going to be super essential for standing on them here, okay? So I highly recommend doing things like that, practicing your footwork even on one spring, just to feel the whole foot being on the foot bar. You really want to connect to that. I would then really practice your shoulder bridge. Check it out even in video. Are you moving your toes around when you do your shoulder bridge? Are you keeping your feet really meeting the mat? That's going to be super essential, because if you can't articulate your spine, staying on your feet on the mat, adding this foot bar and those springs is just going to really exaggerate what you need to work on, right? I would also do the Achilles stretch on the one-to chair or the high chair, pressing and flexing and pointing the foot with those springs and controlling. That's going to help you be able to stand on your foot on this bar. Something else you'll want to work on is just having the mobility in your shoulder girdle to lift your arms overhead. So if you can't do this without then it's going to be really hard for you. So I would highly recommend doing some shoulder flossing with a TheraBand. It's going to be really good. And then doing your arm springs, learning how to stand in your arms, doing your pedipole, standing in your arms, breathing on the Cadillac, standing in your arms, the rowing 3, 4, 5, 6. So from the chest, from the hips, because you get up here and you have to really work it out. Shave and hug is going to be amazing for this. Get into your pull straps, like fall in love with those. Those are really going to help you. So SemiCircle is literally going to take everything you've already been doing and really like throw it for a loop, right? So the more you can practice the more basic exercises and really learn to stand on your limbs, stand in your hands and stand in your feet, then your spine can just float in and out. Now, something you really want to do to challenge your SemiCircle, if you're like, that's not a struggle for me, is are you able to fully flex your spine in all the different parts, or are you just doing it in one part or the other, right? So as you roll your hips down, keeping the carriage still, can you get your whole spine to fit before you have to move this carriage? When you press out, are you actually able to articulate your spine all the way up before you have to move the carriage? When you come in, are you lifting your hips up or your lower back up? Just doing some little check-ins to see where you're maybe avoiding the stretch and the strength in that exercise would be really good. So I highly encourage you not to skip it. Play with both positions of the foot bar to see which one you like the most. And then make sure you let Andrea and I know any questions you have or requests you have in the comments below. Be sure to check out her tutorial on this over on her channel, Andrea Maida Pilates. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you next time. And make sure you subscribe to Glow so you don't miss any videos from me, and subscribe to Andrea so you don't miss any videos from her. Thank you.